all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Hello and welcome back. Today I am joined by the BOOTYGOD. You purposely left me hanging.
Yeah.
Listen to that laugh. It's intentional and corrupted. High corrupted.
Hello.
I'm, of course, MOSH, but you already knew that. Alright, so let's talk about some Apex Legends, the new free-to-play Battle Royale game from Respawn Entertainment. And if you know Respawn, you know they make the Titanfall games. And you might also know that it's comprised of members of the original Infinity Ward who created Call of Duty, most notably Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2. Anyway, this new game, I'm going to read this article off of GameSpot.com because at the time of this recording, I have not played the game yet. So next week, I will give my impressions on it. But as of right now, I'm just going to give you details about the game. So right off the bat, this is not a Titanfall game. It's set in the Titanfall universe. So there are no Titans. It's a team-based game with 20 teams of 3 players facing off on one huge map. Like other games in the genre, you and your squad enter Apex Legends with no weapons or items and have to scavenge everything you need to be the last team standing. So there's no like solos or duos as of right now. Maybe down the line they'll add solos and duos, but for the time being it's trios. The big difference between Apex Legends and other games like it is the inclusion of characters you choose from at the beginning of a match. Each character has a different role in your squad and different special abilities, including ultimate abilities that charge up over time. So it's kind of like Overwatch in that sense where there are multiple characters, or I guess in this case legends. They all have kind of like a different loadout or abilities, and you pick them at the beginning of the match. You're still finding all your guns, armor, and items on the island, but you have specific capabilities that you can combine with your teammates that affect your strategy. There are 8 characters or legends in the game at launch, and Respawn will be adding more over time. An innovative addition to Battle Royale and its ping system. With one dedicated button, you can ping locations, objects, and other players, marking them on your teammates' screens and drawing their attention to them. So basically, if you don't have any communication or you can't talk to your teammates, if there's like a really good gun you found and you want to get their attention, you can ping it. If you can't call out an enemy, you can ping them. So that's pretty cool. And following up on that, it says ping a piece of loot and your character will call it out and mark it for someone else should they need it, while pinging enemies allows you to call out their location to your squad. The system is pretty robust, making it possible to communicate well with your squad without ever talking to them. Apex Legends is free to play, which means it also includes microtransactions and in-game purchases for cosmetic items. And they have said multiple times that it is cosmetic only. It is not pay to win. There are no weapons. You can buy premium currency to purchase items in loot boxes called Apex Packs, and you'll also earn in-game currency in packs as you play. 6 of the game's characters are yours when you fire up Apex Legends, with 2 more that you can purchase with either in-game currency or premium currency. It is available right now on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. And if you're on PC, you gotta go to Origin, because that's EA's game launcher thing. Another thing to mention is that there's a jump master, so you cannot jump out of the air flying vehicle thing until the jump master does. So everyone stays together as a team as you're falling into the map that way. You know, 'cause sometimes you play a team game, Battle Royale, and one person will fly to the other side of the map, and then you're all split up, and this keeps everyone together, so that's kind of cool. Unless that person goes AFK, then that's not pretty cool. Some of the abilities I saw for some of the legends, like one guy had a shield, someone else had a gas grenade, another guy could do holograms and like deceive people. There was like phasing through portals, which was cool. They are going to have a battle pass and stuff like that, so be on the lookout for that stuff if you really enjoy the game and you're looking for some extra goodies. And this gets me excited for Titanfall. Makes me want to play Titanfall 2 again, and really looking forward to Titanfall 3 because EA has not done Titanfall any favors with the release dates, and it's a shame because Titanfall games are really good, and I think they get overlooked a lot. So Unfortunately, there will never be a Titanfall without EA because EA bought Respawn for $400 million. So EA owns everything. But yeah, like I said, I have not played yet. I'll give my impressions next week when I get like a full week's worth of playtime. But I like Respawn's games. They all feel really good. And I'm excited. I've seen the trailers and stuff, and it looks good. This looks like a battle royale that I could spend some time with. I am still burnt out on battle royale, but I'm still going to give this one a try. I have some PlayStation Plus news. This is from the PlayStation blog. It says, before we get to this month's lineup, we have news to share about cloud storage for PS Plus members. In early February, we will be expanding our cloud storage space from 10 gigabytes to 100 gigabytes for PS Plus members, giving PS4 owners even more space to keep all those game saves. With cloud storage, you can save your game progress and character profiles on one PS4 system, and then continue the game on another system later without losing progress. Be sure to check it out. So, yeah, from 10 gigs to 100, that's a lot because saves don't take up very much space at all. So, you have saves for like years you could put in there, which I just used it for the first time the other day because I'm so paranoid about losing my Red Dead 2 100% save. So I put the save in cloud storage, I put the auto save and the backup save. So if anything goes wrong, I still have it. So
Did you put in the backup to your backup?
if there was an option, then yes. Anything that said 100% went in.
Okay.
So if there's any saves anyone likes, just throw it in the cloud storage. It takes like 1 second to do. Actually, to do it, go to like the main menu of the PS4 and then click the options button on the game, and then it's like the first option to upload cloud storage. And it's that easy. Also, though, the free games for this month. First up, we have For Honor, the melee action game from Ubisoft. Experience the chaos of war and...
It's so funny.
For Honor's free this month. Whatever. Next up is Hitman, the complete first season. Take on the role of Agent 47, the world's ultimate assassin. Travel the globe to eliminate... Notice he says globe, not flat earth. Take notes. To eliminate your targets in traditional and less traditional ways, from sniper rifles to expired spaghetti sauce. Use the weapons at your disposal to become the master assassin. I actually heard this new Hitman first season is actually pretty solid, so I might check it out. There's also a lot of ways to go about each mission, so there's a lot of replayability. I have some more news from Sony. Sony patents a new system of backwards compatibility for presumably the PS5. I got this off of Reddit, and it has nearly 20,000 upvotes, so clearly this is real and reliable, because, nothing on the internet's fake. So this is an article. I'm going to read it. It was translated from Spanish, so some of the wording might be a little weird. Sony Japan has just registered a new patent that allows the retro compatibility of the hardware with previous consoles. It is a system to be applied in a future machine, PS5, that allows the CPU of the new console to be able to interpret the central unit of the previous machines. The author of the development was Mark Cerny, the architect who designed the PS4 structure, and the patent, which has been filed under number 2019-503013, briefly explains what it consists of. The aim is to make the applications designed for the previous consoles run perfectly on the most powerful hardware, and is focused on eliminating the synchronization errors between the new consoles and the behavior of the previous ones. For example, if the CPU of the new console is faster than the previous one, data could be overwritten prematurely even if they were still being used by another component. Thanks to the new system, PS5 would be able to imitate the behavior of the previous consoles so that the information that arrives at the different processors is returned in response to the calls of the games. The processor is able to detect the needs of each application and behave as if it were the original brain of each machine, cheating the software. This technology does not prevent PS5 could also have additional processors to have compatibility with machines whose architecture is difficult to replicate as in the case of PS2. In that last sentence, like I said, the translation was a little lost there. It says the SRGAN process that allows you to perform remastering by emulation, another of the elements that Sony has patented, converts images in SD resolution to 4K using artificial intelligence. This makes it seem like the PS5 will be backwards compatible with all previous PlayStations, which would be awesome. Now, this is just a patent. This is not confirmed or anything. A lot of times companies will file patents and they don't ever use them. So who knows? If PS5 is not backwards compatible, don't kill me. A lot of signs are pointing towards it being so. Now, this is news that just broke, and it's also from GameSpot. Microsoft expanding Xbox Live to Nintendo Switch, iOS, and Android. Now I'm just going to read the full-on article. Microsoft plans to expand Xbox Live to other platforms, including Nintendo Switch and mobile. The company says bringing the network to more consoles will enable game developers to connect between iOS, Android, and Switch, in addition to Xbox and any game in the Microsoft Store and Windows PC. The move was teased in the description for an upcoming session at GDC, where the plans will presumably be revealed in more detail. The session, titled Xbox Live Growing and Engaging Your Gaming Community Across iOS, Android, Switch, Xbox, and PC, will include details on the expansion, which Microsoft says will take Xbox Live to over 2 billion devices with the release of our new cross-platform Xbox development kit. The description continues, Xbox Live players are highly engaged and active on Xbox and PC, but now they can take their gaming achievement history, their friends list, their clubs, and more with them to almost every screen. Further details are scant at present, but we'll learn more during GDC, which will take place from March 18th to the 22nd. Taking Xbox Live to other consoles seems like the natural next step after the cross-platform play that exists within certain games such as Fortnite or Minecraft. Sony has been less cooperative when it comes to cross-platform play and allowing other services onto its PlayStation Network, and it appears this Xbox Live expansion will not apply to PS4 as of yet. However, Sony did enable Fortnite crossplay as a beta late last year, so perhaps further integration of the major gaming platforms will become a possibility down the line. Right off the bat, people are going to assume that you can play Xbox games on Nintendo, which I do not think that is what this is saying. What I just said previously, it says they can take their gaming achievement history, friends list, and clubs, and more with them to almost every screen. So I think that's just all this is. If you're on Switch and you want to check your Xbox friends list or send someone on Xbox a message, you can do that. I'm sure more details will be revealed, like they said, at GDC, but as of right now, it's just little things. So don't get too excited. This is from ZHugeEX on Twitter. He does like analytics and stats and stuff. Anyway, he says the PS4 has sold 94.2 million units. I think that's I don't think it's supposed to say sold. I think it's supposed to be shipped. Anyway, he says it is on track to reach 100 million faster than the Wii and is in roughly the same time frame as the PS2. So that's pretty crazy. We're getting very close to 100 million units sold on PS4. So if you don't have PS4, buy one so that Sony can have their huge celebration and probably have a huge sale with a lot of great discounts. I also said that the Nintendo Switch is seeing record software attach rates with its first-party titles. 47% of Nintendo Switch owners have a copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's crazy. Nearly half.
I don't see the hype for that game, but that's just me.
That game was out on the Wii U, though. It says 43% of Switch owners have a copy of Super Mario Odyssey, and 37% have a copy of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. A certain game has come out. A certain person in here has played it. I think the person's ready to give their first impressions of that game. I'm going to say right now, spoiler alert, spoiler warning for Kingdom Hearts 3, and probably just the Kingdom Hearts series in general.
Oh yeah, definitely in general.
If you don't want to hear these, or if you want to avoid the spoilers, go to the timestamps in the description and just skip to the next topic, and you'll be fine. With that said, you waited for this game for years. You purchased the game. You have played the game. You have beaten the game.
You beat the game already?
Yes, you did.
I streamed it for 24 hours.
So the biggest question I have as of right now, are you satisfied?
Overall, or just like game wise?
All of it. Like, are you happy with the way the story turned out?
Yes.
Were your questions answered? Or do you have more questions now?
I definitely have more questions than were answered. I came into this game expecting that, but with the curveballs that were thrown, I definitely have a lot more questions now. Gameplay wise, the environments were so beautiful. You saw how I would stop and take in how detailed, how amazing the environments like in Tangled, Frozen, Monstropolis, etc., how they all looked and how they weren't sectioned off like how they used to be in older games. You could just say jump off a building or a cliff and land into another area. And it perfectly transition. The frames, I don't think I ever had one issue with frame rate because it was consistent high 40-ish, low 50-ish frame rate throughout the entire game. And I don't even have a PlayStation 4 Pro either. I just have a normal 1 terabyte PlayStation 4. Yet the frames were just so amazing. Square Enix definitely listened to the community when they originally said that the combat felt too floaty back when they gave the first demo. I think at either it wasn't E3, but I know it was available at events for certain content creators to try it out. So they definitely listened to us, which was definitely nice. The worlds were. I'll put my bias aside and just say the worlds were amazing. I could tolerate Frozen as well.
Yeah, we know that was your least favorite.
Oh yeah.
Which one was your favorite, though? It's a hard decision.
I'm actually torn between Monstropolis and Tangled.
Really?
Yeah. It was one of those worlds where they kind of don't make an original story. They just kind of try and like hash the story into the game itself, so it's not too different. But it was really satisfying. The effects with the spells were beautiful.
Yeah, they looked really good.
I see that Square Enix was definitely giving it their all with making the game look beautiful, and it played beautiful too. So there's that.
Yeah, I didn't see any issues with it.
The length as well. When they said they don't want you to revisit story-wise, they were not kidding. It kind of felt drawn out at times, especially like in Toy Box where I had to fight those mechs. And like at one point during 24-hour stream, I'm pretty sure anyone else watching me thought this dude must have fallen asleep with how long I AFK'd to go take a break, because having to kind of bounce through all those mechs just kind of ate at me and made me want to take a pretty lengthy break before I went back to it. I was disappointed not seeing Destiny Islands, Radiant Garden, and more Twilight Town be explorable, or even just seeing Radiant Garden and Destiny Islands as their own world for once. Want to see like those worlds more fleshed out like the others were.
Was it a satisfying end to that, like, Xehanort story or whatever?
It was,
assuming that's the end.
yeah, they confirmed that. They confirmed that 3 is the end of the Xehanort saga,
Okay.
but it's just.
So, are you satisfied how that all played out?
I am, but I do have complaints. The way he gave up so easily. When he was first introduced in Birth by Sleep, he was introduced as this dude that wanted to unite light and dark. For a while, I've always been thinking, is he really a villain for that? But then I recall how he goes about trying to get his goals. I'm like, okay, yeah, he can be a villain, I guess, but he's not like, say, whatever that dude's name from Destiny 2 is, one that like takes the light from the Garden Zone. He's not like on that level, even though he's done shady things. At the end, he's just so resigned once he sees his old buddy Master Ericus pop up and say, no, let's just leave it to Sora and the new generation to handle it. It's not our problem.
Yeah, I didn't see you beat the end of the game, but I did see that part on YouTube. And yeah, he just kind of, like you said, he gave up really easily. It was kind of weird.
This dude was dead set. He stole someone's body. He's corrupted so many others. He's ruined so many lives. He's just like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's just. I'll back off. Sure, whatever. I wanna try and rationalize and say just because he was beaten, I think in what was that, like 3 personal battles against Sora, that he decides, you know what? Okay, fine, whatever. But
and that other guy that came in that took him away, was that the guy he was playing chess with?
Yeah, that was Ericus.
Okay.
or how I like to jokingly call him Luke Skywalker, since it's the same person. I also want to believe that it was also because of Eric, is that he kind of backs off. They were the closest of friends, like as we saw, even though he indirectly got him killed by Terra and Birth by Sleep. It's amazing how caring he was still at that point, because I'd be kind of salty if he turned me against someone who I saw as a son, then stole his body, then tried to destroy most of the world by resetting it, which was actually interesting. I'm so glad that they cleared up what Kingdom Hearts is. It's kind of similar to our universe in the fact that it's like everything starts off in like this primordial void or darkness or whatever. Then Kingdom Hearts like appeared, and like its light kind of like gave birth to like everything that we know. So you could like interpret that as like a big bang of their universe. So I thought that was honestly pretty cool that they finally like explained what Kingdom Hearts was. It's kind of like a reset button, or even you could think of it as like the Halo rings from the Halo series. It just kind of, like restarts everything.
Did you really not know there weren't going to be any Final Fantasy characters in the game?
I didn't know. I saw the Moogle, so I was hoping. Like if you discredit the Moogle, the statue of Auron and Cloud, there's literally no Final Fantasy characters. I had no clue. I was disheartened. I probably should.
I thought we were on the same page last week because you said you knew certain characters were not going to be in the game, and I thought you were talking about the Final Fantasy characters, but apparently not. I'm surprised that wasn't spoiled for you.
I knew Cloud and Leon weren't because someone mentioned that the voice actors weren't contacted about picking it up. So I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna save that for Kingdom Hearts 4, but we'll still have like there's still room for like Aerith or Zack or Tifa or Yuffie and Sid and etc. It's like,
yeah, that's why when you started the game and you're like, can't wait to see Zack, I was just like,
yeah, because Zack's in Olympus Coliseum and Birth by Sleep. So I'm assuming, okay, maybe we're gonna have like a Crisis Core adult Zack pop up, and I'm like, where's my boy Zack? Is he off training somewhere? Did he meet up? Did he meet someone out? Then like just beating it, I was kind of still holding out that maybe we'll see Sephiroth or something as a final boss, or not final boss, but like a secret boss as always. Then being the game, I was just kind of disheartened. But
so the future of Kingdom Hearts, you go with the secret. Well, it's not a secret. It's the post-credits ending that they added in. The dude, Zigbar, or is that his? Yeah, that's his name.
His real name's Lucio, but we all knew him as Zigbar.
So he's in the Keyblade graveyard with the box that we don't know what is in.
They've been hyping it up in the mobile game for a few years now.
And then the foretellers, the animal mask people come, or a few of them do.
Yeah, they're missing one.
And then it cuts back, they talk, and then it cuts back to Xehanort and the other dude as young people again playing chess. And the guy says, I have a new game. He puts down 7 black pieces and then 1 white piece, and then the white piece has like the crown that like Sora has on his necklace. Assuming that is Sora.
Yeah, it's Sora.
And it's Sora versus the 7 foretellers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the story of the next game, one would assume.
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah. Does Sora know about these foretellers?
No.
He's never met them or heard of them or anything. Okay.
The way to phrase it is Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Key, whatever people know it as, is the mobile game that it pretty much it leads up to the Keyblade War and what would become the Keyblade Graveyard. Like the art style is used as like a fairy tale kind of art style, because usually whenever you see something like a fairy tale art style, you assume in that universe it's a really ancient event, and that's exactly what it is. It took place so many years ago that no one in the current cast except for Sigbar, through stealing people's bodies, I'm assuming, is still alive. And he was tasked with by the Master of Masters to pretty much go through the ages and make sure that Keyblade still still exists. Because the way the Keyblades work in the Kingdom Hearts series is they're not necessarily actually Keyblades, even though they are. It's more so the keychain that changes it. So Masters want to make sure that Lucio would make sure no one that inherits that the no-name Keyblade would take the keychain off and change it, because if they change it, then the eye inside of it, the all-seeing eye, won't be able to witness the future events to make sure that everything that's prophesized to happen actually happens. And we saw in Kingdom Hearts 3, second coming to Keyblade War and Awakening Kingdom Hearts happens and was thwarted at the same time. So his role is filled. And with summoning the other Keyblade, or not Keyblade, the other foretellers minus Ava, he's informing them of everything that's transpired from when he was still a young boy, being given his role, separate from everyone else. No one else knew about his role except for Ava when the dawn of the Keyblade War was about to start. But everyone else did not know. This is the first they're hearing about it. I assume they're all going to be pretty angry that they were just kind of used as like pawns in their master's scheme long term.
Just like a chess game.
But it's interesting because since Ava didn't show up, and when Sayax or Isa and Lee were talking about that one friend that they had, and seeing that ending with Ava missing made me think maybe she did the same thing as Lushu and somehow survives, even though she took part in war and she's supposed to be dead. Maybe she's that friend that they were missing. So that kind of opened up another possible exploration area we could enter with for the fourth game. I'm just still very confused on where they're trying to go with this.
Hopefully it's more a straightforward story and they're done with the cloning and different versions of people, different names and looks, and because that just gets really confusing.
Dream drop distance, that's where the legitimate problem comes, because pretty much it feels like a Final Fantasy here where it kind of time loops into itself, saying you're time traveling, you're looking for pieces of yourself that existed throughout the times, and that's how you exist as a heart. You have to leave your body behind, but you can go like pick up the different pieces of yourself that existed. But once you go back to your time, you don't understand. But we clearly see the Heartless Ansem like in the flashback. So it's like, when does it really begin? Did Sora kind of like break out of the semi-loop that it established itself into? It's just an overall confusing, like a really confusing thing to me.
Yeah, when I told you Sora was going to die, I didn't mean during the game. I meant at the end.
It's getting ready to hit that banhammer, boy. I wasn't expecting that. Like, Nomura always like said, "Nah, death doesn't exist, dude." And I was like, watching Ericus just like become a heart and like go into Terra's body. I was like, okay, I'll accept that. But this dude physically, literally died and went to the afterlife. It was a very jarring thing. And then we're seeing all those stars and nameless people that also died. So it's a really interesting thing to see how they handle death, and I kind of like it. It was really simple. It's like, oh, it's called the final world. There's no gimmick. You're just kind of like a shapeless being of light. You're supposed to forget most things, but you kind of cling onto this one memory. But Sora was one of the special occasions that got to piece himself together. There's just so much room that they could try and expand on that. And maybe something to expand on Lucio and the others. Because we need some kind of sign where they're trying to go with this. Because Sora finding the foretellers doesn't entirely make sense. Like, they're not villains, but they're also not good, because they had no problem turning on each other and killing each other in the war. Even in the mobile game, I said the dude with the bear mask, he is openly a dick when you provoke him. He tries multiple times to kill the player's character just because they're outspoken, they'll rebel, and he sees that's a problem. I'm trying to see at what angle they could really play with the foretellers being the antagonist. If anything, I'd see maybe the Master of Masters being the antagonist, since we don't really know his motives outside of knowing about the war and how things will transpire in the future. Overall, if I had to rate Kingdom Hearts 3 on a scale of 1 to 10, it is an 8.5.
8.5. That's just your first playthrough. I know you're going to play through it a few more times.
Oh, yeah.
So initial thoughts are an 8.5. Pretty good. I know I was joking about it, but do you think it's possible they do a DLC replay as Cloud just to get people hyped up for Final Fantasy VII Remake?
They could give him his own little story. They could probably resolve him and Sephiroth's crap there, actually. Because honestly, I'm tired of seeing Sephiroth and Cloud always fight. There's more fights between people in the Final Fantasy universe. Give them some kind of love. I get that they're like the poster boys of the franchise now, but
you just at some point you gotta stop milking it. Because I don't want to be a grandpa seeing my kid talk about Cloud and Sephiroth. Dude, that was happening before I was even born. They need to end it at some point. Be perfect with the DLC, because then, like you said, they can get hyped for Final Fantasy VII. I think the most pressing matter on this list, though, that we haven't talked about is Shaggy in Mortal Kombat 11.
That'd be hilarious.
I know it's a joke, but I really hope people are not taking it seriously.
If I see him confirmed, you best believe I'm picking up Mortal Kombat 11 already.
It's not happening.
Don't do this to me, dude.
It's not happening.
Don't do this to me.
I don't know who owns the Scooby-Doo, like...
Warner Bros.
Does Warner Bros. Own it?
Yes. So guess what?
You think NetherRealm's gonna go to them and be like, hey, can we borrow Shaggy? You know, he might get decapitated and, you know...
Yes.
It's great for the kids.
Yes.
I don't know.
Come on, man. You know you want to see it.
Oh, for sure, but...
You know I'd be the first person to jump on that.
There's just no way.
Even the live action Shaggy, the actor for him, he jumped on the joke. It's really beautiful in my opinion.
It's not happening.
I'm gonna fight you.
There's other thing that happened on Ed Boon's Twitter that could actually come true. Someone did fan art of Jax, but they used Terry Crews's face. And Ed Boon acknowledged it, and then Terry Crews also acknowledged it and said, let's do this, or something along those lines. So, you know.
You can't go wrong with Terry Crews.
If they bring Jax in, Terry Crews could maybe voice him.
You can't go wrong.
If they got Ronda Rousey to do Sonya, then I don't think it's out of the question.
He's really friendly. I don't think I've ever seen someone say anything awful about him in a legitimate way.
Nah, he seems like a cool dude. Alright, we could talk about some music stuff. Sunday, February 10th, will be the Grammy Awards.
As long as Trivium and Ghost when I don't, and Bring Me to Horizon when I don't care all that much.
Well, that's what I'm about to go over. So there's 4 categories that I'm interested in. First one being Best Metal Performance for new vocal or instrumental solo, duo, group, or collaborative metal recordings. And the nominees are Condemned to the Gallows, Between the Buried and Me, Honeycomb, Deaf Heaven, Electric Messiah, High on Fire, Betrayer, Trivium, and On My Teeth, Under Oath. Now, I want Trivium to win. That, if you know me, that should be obvious.
If not Trivium, at least give it to High on Fire. If not Trivium, but they definitely need the win.
So that's your backup, High on Fire.
Yeah.
I want Trivium to win, but for some reason, I feel like Between the Buried and Me might, like, steal it. Next category, Best Rock Performance for new vocal or instrumental solo, duo, group, or collaborative rock recordings. 4 out of 5, Arctic Monkeys. When Bad Does Good, Chris Cornell. Made in America, Fever 333. Highway Tune, Greta Van Fleet. And Uncomfortable, Hailstorm. You gotta go Fever 333 on this one.
Especially in Black History Month. Come on.
You gotta. That's who I want to win. Who do I think will win?
Arctic Monkeys, I think.
Probably Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
Never underestimate a gaggle of white girls, edgy male teenagers.
Chris Cornell could win though too. Just
because he's dead.
Dead. Yeah.
I hate to discredit great musicians because they died, but it's like look at Mac Miller. A lot of people didn't necessarily care, but they knew about him or didn't know about him. But once he died, it's like, oh, I love Mac. It's like, don't be that person. Come on now. Like, it's one thing if you want to admit that you just got into his music because he died, but don't act like you've always loved it and he deserves like the legitimate best of everything just because they're dead. That's just no. Come on now. It's kind of insulting, in my opinion.
So yeah, Fever 333. I want them to win, but Arctic Monkeys would not be surprised if they won.
Never doubt the power of white girls, my dude.
Best rock song a songwriters award. Includes rock, hard rock, and metal songs. A song is eligible if it was first released or if it is first achieved prominence during the eligibility year. Singles or tracks only. Black Smoke Rising, Jacob Thomas Kiska, Joshua Michael Kiska, Samuel Francis Kiska, and Daniel Robert Wagner. Songwriters, Greta Van Fleet. Jumpsuit, Tyler Joseph, songwriter, 21 Pilots. Mantra, Jordan Fish, Matthew Keane, Lee Malia, Matthew Nichols, and Oliver Sykes, songwriters, Bring Me the Horizon. Mass Seduction, Jack Antonoff and Annie Clark, songwriters, St. Vincent. And Rats, Tom Dalgetty and a Ghoul Writer, songwriters, Ghost. A Ghoul Writer being Tobias Forge. I mean, come on, let's go. We already know his name.
Yeah, they really dropped the ball with trying to hide their identities.
Yeah. He's finally doing unmasked interviews, and
it's weird, isn't it? You kind of lose the lose the appeal in a sense. Like, it's, I don't know, there's just there's like a layer of interest when you don't necessarily know what this person looks like. You want to see, but at the same time you don't want to see. But that's just me being weird about things because I don't want to show my face either.
yeah. Well, again, if anyone knows me, I want Rats to win because it's Ghost, boy. But, I mean, 21 Pilots is in here.
They're not even good, which is the worst part.
I know, but they're pretty big. I want Ghost or Bring Me the Horizon to win, but I would not be shocked if 21 Pilots took this one. And then the last category I'm interested in, Best Rock Album, for albums containing at least 51% playing time of new rock, hard rock, or metal recordings. So the album only needs to be half rock to be eligible, which is a little ridiculous. Anyways, nominees are Rainier Fog, Alice in Chains, Mania, Fall Out Boy, Prequel, Ghost, and that's how it's pronounced. It's not prequel or prequel. It's Prequel. It's French. That's how the singer pronounces it. That's how I pronounce it. Learn a new language. From the Fires, Greta Van Fleet, or Pacific Dream by Weezer.
I think prequel's gonna win. We'll go with prequel.
What? Disrespecting our culture, and I'm offended.
Are you even part French?
No. I want Ghost to win, obviously, but Fall Out Boy shouldn't even be nominated, first of all.
Dude, what even is Fall Out Boy's genre anymore?
I heard it was like a pop electronic album, but apparently 51% of it's rock. I feel like Greta Van Fleet could win this. See, Ghost and Greta Van Fleet are both nominated for Best Rock Song, so I feel like if one of them win that, then they have a good chance of winning Best Rock Album. But yeah, that's Sunday, February 10th, and then on the next podcast, we will go over the winners and see what happened. The other thing I want to say about the Grammys is I really wish, I don't think any of these categories are going to be shown on TV. Maybe one of them, maybe like Best Rock Album or something, but most of them are not going to be shown on TV because the Grammys don't really appreciate metal or rock, which is a shame. These awards are usually given out like during the pre-show or commercials and stuff, which sucks because I would love for, if Trivium won for the best metal performance, it'd be really cool to have them give their speech while the show was on and the TV audience was watching, because they could give a really good speech and kind of destroy the stereotypes of metal while millions of people are watching. But unfortunately, that award will not be given out during TV, and you're going to have to watch an acceptance speech on whoever wins, probably on YouTube. So it's a shame. I hate how they do like these skits or monologues and they try to act like there's some comedy show. It's like, just stop. The night is for all the artists. Let them shine. Let them have their moments in the spotlight for one night. Let them give their speeches. Don't cut them off. It's just, I don't know. The Grammys are so out of touch. Like, they don't really even know what's going on. I think a couple years ago, Beyonce was nominated for Best Rock Song or something. Like, it is so dumb. And it's on CBS, too, which is like a multi-bajillion-dollar company. And they act like they have to be on some strict schedule. Like, we got to have a 2-hour show. We can't go over limit or any of this. It's like, come on. I'll put links in the description to the 4 songs and 4 bands that I want to win. So Betrayer by Trivium, Made in America by Fever 333, Rats by Ghost, and Mantra by Bring Me the Horizon if you want to listen to those songs. And in other music news, what I mentioned last week, the guitarist of Periphery letting it slip that the new album's coming out in April, some more information has come out that the album could very well be coming out on April 5th. It is called Periphery 4 Hail Stan. That is not a typo. It is not Hail Satan. It is Hail Stan. They said it was going to be a dumb name, and yes.
Well, I mean, they're not wrong, and you also got to remember that this band is like the personification of prog metal and nerdy reference.
Oh, yeah. Their last album was called Periphery 3 Select Difficulty, which is a gaming reference. Obviously.
Then they have Masamune Murama.
Yeah, there's a lot of... They're nerds.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to stream on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. The first single is going to be called Blood Eagle and will be released on this Wednesday. There will be a music video with it. And the track listing, Reptile, Blood Eagle, Church Burner, Garden in the Bones, It's Only Smiles, Follow Your Ghost, Crush, Sentient Glow, and Satellites. Now, the interesting thing is the first song on this album, Reptile, is 16 minutes and 44 seconds long.
Oh, baby.
Usually bands save the longest song for the last track on the album, but Periphery is putting the longest song first. Anyway, I think that's a pretty good place to end this episode. Thanks to everyone for listening and hanging out with us. Check out the description for links to everything, and we will talk to you guys later. See ya.